The camera opens on a vast battlefield scarred by mud, shattered trees, and drifting smoke, and through that haze the unmistakable silhouette of a Sherman tank begins to move. Steel tracks bite into the earth with a deep mechanical growl, each rotation echoing the industrial heartbeat of World War II. This is not just a machine in motion, but a symbol of an era when mass production, determination, and human courage collided on the fields of Europe and the Pacific. As the Sherman drives forward, it carries with it the weight of history, shaped by the hands of engineers, factory workers, and the crews who trusted their lives to its armor. The Sherman tank was designed for mobility and reliability, and as it advances across the battlefield, those qualities become immediately clear. Unlike heavier tanks that struggled with breakdowns, the Sherman's engine hums steadily, pushing it onward through uneven terrain. The suspension absorbs the shock of shell craters and rubble, allowing the tank to keep moving even when the ground seems determined to stop it. Dust and mud spray outward from the tracks, creating a cinematic trail that tells the story of relentless forward momentum. In HD and 4K clarity, every rivet, weld, and scratch on the armor becomes visible, each mark a silent witness to combatant survival. Inside the tank, the crew works as a single unit. The driver grips the controls, eyes fixed ahead through a narrow vision slit, guiding the massive vehicle through chaos. Beside him, the assistant driver monitors instruments and remains alert, ready to respond at a moment's notice. Above them, the turret crew rotates the gun, scanning for threats that could emerge from tree lines, ruined buildings, or distant ridges. The Sherman driving across the battlefield is not a solitary act, it is teamwork under pressure, where trust and training mean the difference between life and death. As the tank pushes forward, enemy fire cracks through the air. Shells burst nearby, throwing up fountains of dirt and debris, but the Sherman does not stop. Its armor, while not the thickest of the war, was designed with practicality in mind, offering enough protection to keep moving and fight back. The tank's speed allows it to reposition quickly, flanking enemy positions and supporting advancing infantry. In this moment, the Sherman becomes more than a weapon, it is a shield for soldiers moving alongside it, offering cover and confidence in the midst of danger. The battlefield itself feels alive, shaped by the thunder of artillery and the roar of engines. Smoke drifts across the scene, catching the light of explosions and turning the landscape into a shifting canvas of shadow and fire. The Sherman's main gun fires, a sudden flash followed by recoil that shakes the entire vehicle. The sound is deafening, a reminder of the destructive power contained within this steel giant. Yet after each shot, the tank steadies itself and continues forward, unwavering in its mission. What makes the Sherman driving sequence so compelling is its sense of purpose. This tank was built not for elegance, but for war on an industrial scale. Thousands rolled off assembly lines, each one nearly identical, yet every tank would have a unique story shaped by the battles it fought and the crew that manned it. Watching a Sherman move across a battlefield in stunning clarity allows us to appreciate the balance between design and necessity. It was easy to maintain, adaptable to different roles, and capable of operating in diverse environments, from muddy European fields to dusty desert roads. As the tank advances, infantry troops move in its wake, using its bulk as mobile cover. The coordination between tank and soldiers is critical. Hand signals, shouted commands, and practiced maneuvers keep everyone aligned amid chaos. The Sherman slows briefly, navigating a narrow path between ruins, then accelerates again once clear. This constant adjustment highlights the dynamic nature of battlefield driving, where no two moments are the same and every decision carries risk. In close-up shots, the details of the tank come alive. The tracks churn relentlessly, coated in mud and oil. Exhaust fumes pour from the rear, blurring the air behind it. The turret rotates smoothly, driven by mechanical precision, while the barrel remains locked on a potential threat. These visual elements, captured in HD and 4K, transform the Sherman from a historical artifact into a living presence, reminding viewers that this machine once stood at the center of global conflict. The Sherman's journey across the battlefield also reflects the broader strategy of the Allied forces. It was never meant to fight alone against the heaviest enemy tanks head-on, but to work as part of a combined arms team. Air support, artillery, infantry, and armor all played their roles, and the Sherman was the dependable workhorse that tied these elements together on the ground. As it drives forward, it embodies the concept of momentum, pushing the front line ahead step by step. Moments of tension build as the tank approaches a contested area. The driver slows, carefully steering around obstacles that could conceal mines or ambushes. The crew's focus intensifies, every sound and vibration interpreted as a potential warning. Suddenly, the tank surges forward again, committing to the advance. This rhythm of caution and aggression defines battlefield driving, where hesitation can be fatal, but recklessness can be just as deadly. The visual power of a Sherman tank driving in battle lies not only in explosions and movement, but in the atmosphere it creates. The mix of smoke, fire, and mechanical noise immerses the viewer in a world where survival depends on steel, fuel, and human resolve. Each meter gained feels earned, paid for with effort and risk. The tank's presence dominates the frame, yet it is always part of a larger struggle unfolding beyond the camera's view. As the sequence continues, the battlefield begins to open up. Enemy resistance weakens, and the Sherman maintains its steady advance. The tank bears the scars of the fight, but it remains operational, a testament to its rugged design. In these final moments, the driving becomes almost symbolic, representing progress through adversity. The Sherman rolls on, carrying the hopes of those behind it and the determination of those inside it. The scene fades with the tank still moving, disappearing into smoke and distance. What remains is the lasting impression of power, resilience, and history in motion. The Sherman tank driving across the battlefield is more than footage of a vehicle at war, it is a window into the experience of a generation shaped by conflict. Captured in HD and 4K, every second invites the viewer to witness the raw reality of armored warfare, where steel meets soil and determination drives forward against all odds.